Hey guys, today we'll see how we can create a complete record from one table. So for that, what I will do, I will simply create a runnable class. Go to class, go to runnable class. I will say it as 1 1. I'll simply add this. Okay, so now so what we'll do, we'll take a simple table here. So I will take my cust group table for this. So I will say cust group. I will define variable here. I will define two variables. Let me define one more variable, or we can say buffer. Okay, then I will say cust group 1 equals to cust group, and there will be a method. So basically I will use find here. I simply need to get buffer of, so here I need to pass my customer group ID. So I will go here and I will see a valid customer group ID. So if you see 10 is the valid customer group ID. So I will say here 10. Okay, alright. So now I have buffer available inside this object or inside this table buffer. So now what I will do, so we'll use a function called data. So how to use this? So what we'll say, since we need to copy this buffer and we want to create one more record inside this particular buffer, so what we'll say, simply say cust group 2 dot data, and here I will pass my record is already available with me, that is cust group 1. Okay, so now here I need to pass cust group, because cust group provides uniqueness. It should always be unique. So I will say my new, I'll say data copy here. Okay, I will simply close this, and now what I will do, I will use my TTS begin and commit here. Okay, so let me save this. So what we'll do, we'll go to this table and let me go to its method. Let me go to table method here, and let's see. So what do we have in build, right? Okay, yeah. So guys, this is one way to copy data. Now what we'll do, so here like this one, I've used my data method here. Okay, data method. Now I will use one more method here, then I will show you actually the difference and when to use what. So the next method is buf2buf. Okay, so here also we'll do same thing. Okay, so let's say now, okay, I think let me use the same function here. So here what I could say f2 buffer to buffer, and here I need to pass from, that means the one which have record. So cust group 1 have record, right? And I will define here one more variable. I will say this as cust group 3, and I will say copy this one to this one. So cust group 3. Just be with me, I will make you understand this one later. So then inside my cursor group 3, I can say this is something that we used buf2buf function. Okay, here we go. So again we'll use DTS begin and commit here. This DTS commit here. Okay, so let's do build here. Oh, I think we have not used insert here. So I can say cust group 2 dot insert, and let me say cust group 3 insert. Let's save this. We'll trigger the build. Yeah, so the build is completed and I simply executed this class. Okay, so the class is completed, and then here if you see, now these two new customer groups have been created. So you see all the information like description, terms of payment, time, etc., all these data gets copied into a respective new customer group. So let's go to code. Then at the end we'll also see the difference between these two functions. So here what we did, we simply take the current buffer of our customer group, we targeted the customer group 10, then we use the data function here. What we did, we want to insert data into this customer group 2, so that's why we use the data function, and inside the data function we pass the customer group 1, that is this particular. And then, as you know, the customer group should always be unique, so here we are simply manually entering the customer group, that is data copy, then we simply did insert. And now here inside this buffer2buffer function, we passed this particular record, like from where we need to copy the record, and here will be two record, like to which table you want to, to which buffer you want to copy the record. So now both of these functions are doing the same job, but the difference is that this function data one, it copies all the fields. Like for example, whenever you have some system level of fields, like the user who created the records, the created user, all this, so it also copies that. But whereas this function, it skips those system level fields. So if you'll go to definition here, so you see here we need to pass the from record, then to record. Okay, and here when you see inside the while statement, actually it travels through all the fields, and here if you see not equals to is system failed, so it basically skips the system fields. So system fields are like this created date and time, the user who created records, all these are system fields. So when you want to copy the exact identical data, so this would be nice to have. But let's say if you want to skip the system fields, so then your go to function would be this one. So thank you for watching this video.